time you looked away, already knew I couldn't fake it. I got this need for you, forming in my beating heart. I knew the meaning right away, only yesterday we're worlds apart. I got this name for you.
Good morning, everybody. As you may have seen from the title of this video, I am getting a boob job in 2 hours. I know, this is a really big deal. And yes, this is the voluntary cosmetic surgery that I've been hinting at in my previous YouTube videos. I'm gonna be getting a breast augmentation, specifically a lift and implant. However, I will be doing a sit-down explanation about why I'm doing this surgery, all of the fine details about what I'm doing, talking about my surgeon, how I found my surgeon, and giving you guys a debrief on how the surgery went. So make sure you guys stay throughout the entire video because I'll be sprinkling in that information throughout. I do want to go over my check-ins really quick because I just weighed in at another low, being 155.9 pounds, which is 0.8 pounds less than last week. I will say though, I am a little bit emo at the fact that I'm not going to be able to lift for the next like 4 to 8 weeks. But as you guys know, I've been working so hard over the last 15 weeks to get my body in the best shape that I could to increase and enhance the recovery process. And I know I am going to lose a significant amount of muscle by not lifting for the next 4 to 8 weeks, but that's just going to make me even more motivated to bounce back and achieve this lean look again, but with some new boobs. But it's about 7:30 a.m. right now. My mom and I are about to head out to the surgery center. I have my little prescriptions with me. I'm bringing 2 different sizes of my surgery bras. These are like special bras that clasp in the front. That way I don't have to lift my arms above my head. I got my fuzzy socks because apparently it gets really cold in there. And for my outfit of choice, I'll be wearing the Outfully Origin Zip sweatsuit in the color Serene. This is from the men's collection, and my doc said that he wanted me to wear something as loose as possible that's zip up. That's really easy for the nurses to just like put on my body after the surgery is done. So I figured that would be perfect for me. And also to limit my friction, you guys know I have pretty thick curly hair. So I decided to straighten it because I don't think I'm gonna be able to shower for the next 2 to 3 days. And I figured having straight hair would be a lot easier to manage. And something kind of uncomfortable for me is I had to shower and absolutely scrub my body, and I was not allowed to put a hint of lotion, makeup, hair product, anything on my body. So I feel very like, I don't know how to describe it, like stale, not sticky, but like my face feels very tight. I had to take off all of my jewelry. So you guys are basically seeing Nikki in her most natural state right now. This is the final fit. I'm not allowed to drink any water or eat any food until the surgery is done at around 5 p.m. this afternoon. So let's get this show on the road and then come back with some new boobs. Oh my gosh, also I had to take my nails off, and although they feel like little nubs, it's so nice to be able to like make a fist for the first time. Are you excited for me to get boobs?
I'm excited. I'm excited you're excited. Yee. It's nothing like having something that you've been, how do you say? One of those things where you look at your body and you're just not happy, that you can correct it. That's the best part. And you're doing it in a healthy way, and it's gonna look nice and natural.
Thanks, Mom. Yeah, I've been working really hard in the gym, so the boobs are the only thing I can't fix in the gym, which is why I'm here. Okay, I'm gonna bring you guys with me inside until they say you cannot be inside. It's so windy. The bag is slipping. Oh.
You don't have a personal one, you have one, but
In advance,
Yeah.
sit down, right?
then that's fine to do. Okay, because if something happens, I know she's. But we'll do that later.
When I
God
can't.
forbid.
When I can't. Do I look hot, Miss Tina?
Yes, you look hot.
Great. We will go home.
How do you feel, Nikki?
Tight.
A lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Can you fit through here?
Bump, bump,
You do pain. Oh.
bumpity bump. You can go ahead and bring whatever car you're driving right around to the front here.
Okay, I'm right here in the way.
Okay. All right.
No, you're good. So I can't lift or do anything, or
Pushing, no pulling, no lifting.
I'll just have my mom pamper me for a bit.
Yes, you should.
Yeah.
You deserve it.
What an experience that was. Wow. Thank you so much again.
You're welcome.
That was crazy.
Try to open up your lungs a little bit by taking some deep breaths every now and then.
That person just ran over the curb.
I sort of thought. I thought I saw.
Thanks, Mother. Okay.
Lean forward. Oh, let's get this and use your legs to stand up.
Oh.
Yay! Thank you, Tina.
Welcome.
Thanks for my new Yetis.
Thank you so much.
Oh gosh. We are in the morning after. I wanted to give you guys an update because I wanted to document this journey as best as I could. I got home at like 6 p.m. last night. The surgery was about, I think like 5 hours. I can't even hold this right now. I'm gonna put you guys down. So these are my bandages. Give you guys a little 360 moment. So I came home last night. I was still super nauseous because having not eaten anything or drinking any water for like 12 hours leading up to that moment, it just started to throw me off and I was already pretty nervous and whatnot going into the surgery. So apparently I blacked out during just putting my IV in. Like I totally fell forward. I remember telling her, oh no, I feel like I'm gonna throw up. Can you get me a trash can? And then everything went black. And then the next thing I knew, I was laying down with my knees up and like all of the surgeons were in there. And I remember being like, how do they look? And they're like, oh, Nikki, we haven't even started yet. You just passed out while doing your IV. So that was a great start. I slept great from 9 p.m. until like 2:30 a.m. I ended up waking up at like 3 in the morning and I had to pee so bad. Every time I tried to lift my body up, I didn't realize the lack of core strength I would have, where I couldn't even get myself to sit up straight. And then I realized my next best bet was to grab my phone to call my mom to help me from across the house. And I couldn't reach my phone without it just being so tight. So I had the idea of kind of shifting my body to try to grab my phone with my feet, but my head got stuck between the pillows, so I was stuck in this position. So after many tries to get my phone, I ended up grabbing it with my feet and then getting it into the possession of my hands. Then I called my mom, I kid you not, probably like 15 times. I probably called her like 4 times and she would not answer her phone. So I tried to shimmy my way down to the end of the bed to hopefully get my lower half off the bed. After I was able to get up, I was sobbing crying. I was bawling. I was in so much pain. And even though I was extremely angry and very emotional, I went to the bathroom and that was the first and last night that I decided to sleep in my bed, and it was gonna be the recliner from that moment forward. It was a brutal first night, but I feel a lot better this morning and I'm able to like finally take a deep breath. But this is no joke. This is pretty painful. I thought I would be totally fine. Give myself some grace and slowly ease back into it. I will have to keep these bandages on for the next 5 days as well.
Hey everyone, Julian here. I want you all to know how big of a champion and how strong my sister is. This entire time she's been undergoing recovery, she's been an absolute champ. She hasn't complained once, and with every single day, every single waking moment and sleeping moment, she is getting better. And best believe she's gonna come out on top. There's no other option. The only way is up. The only way is up. She's in the background right there. How you doing, Nick?
I'm in pain.
She's doing great. So, get this.
I need 56 grams of popcorn.
She needs 56 grams of popcorn, and I'm gonna make her some popcorn fresh, from scratch.
Okay.
What's up, Dad? Hey. It's my dad. He lives here. That's 60.
Hurry up.
I'm trying, Nick. 58.
Hurry up!
I'm almost there. I'm almost there, Nick. Who's your sucks? Oh, yeah, here you go. You wanna eat outside?
I should get some air. Good morning, everybody. So we're officially in day 6. It has been quite a week. Today, I'm about to get these bandages taken off for the first time. I have not showered in 6 days. I've been barely able to move. That was some of the most excruciating and intense pain I've ever endured in my life. But we are through the hard part. I feel pretty good today, like I'm holding my camera with one hand. A lot of my swelling has gone down, like you guys can see my collarbone and my shoulder. But I will say something super frustrating is that the antibiotics that I'm taking to like fight off any sort of infection and whatnot is totally causing my skin to break out, which is fine. Like I know it will heal significantly more bloated than I would be if I wasn't taking the antibiotics or have surgery, but I'm being kind to myself and I'm kind of just letting the antibiotics run its course. I have 3 more days and then I feel like I'll really be able to begin the healing process. All right, mobility check. That's pretty freaking good. I just realized my armpits are literally not shaved. Apologies. We're gonna cut that out. Oh. Fantastic news. So I just finished my appointment at Dr. Payar's office. I'm wearing the soft bra, which feels so amazing to have that extra support, but the implants are sitting really, really high. Because I have such large pec muscles, my muscles are like extremely tight, so the implant slid up, which is like completely normal, but I'm gonna be wearing this tight Velcro band on top of my soft bra for the next 2 weeks to hopefully get the implant to like drop, I guess you could say. So on top of using this Velcro strap for the next 2 weeks, I'm gonna be doing some what we call massages where I'm going to be pushing down on the implants from the top, from the side, and from the bottom to get that implant to slide underneath my muscle. But they look really good. I don't have any bruising at all, so I can stop taking the antibiotics, which is huge news. And overall, just mentally, I feel so much more confident to do more daily things and go on walks now that I have this support and I see what they look like and all the healing is just going along as planned. Leading up to my surgery, I did as much breast augmentation research as I could because I personally wanted to become as educated as possible. That way, when the surgery was done, I could ease my mind and reduce my stress as much as possible. I also researched as much as I could on YouTube about breast augmentations, trying to see vlogs of other women that went through their own experiences, and I couldn't find a video that I truly loved through and through. So I really hope that if you're someone that is considering getting a breast augmentation, that I could provide some sort of value to you as well. I'm about to get into what I did, why I did it, who I went to, my tips for you, my recovery process, and my takeaways. I'll make it as short, sweet, to the point, and concise as I can. So let's jump right into it. Topic number 1, what exactly did I do? I got a breast augmentation, specifically a lift and an implant. My specific implant was a 355cc moderate high boost at 11.3 diameter with a 4.7 projection. I got a silicone implant, and the type of surgery that I did was a lollipop incision. So specifically what that is when they cut around and down. So it kind of emulates like the look of a lollipop. And the reason I had to do that specific incision is because I did a lift. Therefore, because of that specific incision, I also got a size reduction because they were going to cut it anyways. So we figured we might as well make that part look how I wanted it to. But keep in mind, the size of your CC completely differentiates depending on your specific boob size before you go into surgery. So for example, the exact implant that I have, which is a 355cc, if you are completely flat chested, that's gonna put you at like a full size B or a size C cup. But for me, because I already had a natural C/D cup with that 355cc implant on top of what I already had inside, that put me currently at about a size D/double D cup size. So make sure that when you talk to your surgeon, you're fully aware that these CCs that your friend has or that the inspiration that you found on Pinterest has, that the before photo is similar to what your body structure is, because the implant is going to look completely different on everybody's different size chest. Topic number 2, where did I have my procedure? I went to Payar Plastic Surgery in Newport Beach, California. It's right off of Avocado Street. If you're familiar where Fashion Island is, it's like the medical center that's directly across the street. Dr. Keon Payar is a plastic surgeon and his brother is the anesthesiologist. So what I love is how family oriented like it actually is, because who are you going to trust more than your actual family in the office with you? I love that they get your direct phone number. They're constantly texting you. Even right after the surgery, Dr. Payar, my surgeon, was calling me every single day. Anytime I texted him like a list of questions, he responded within like an hour. I feel like we have a great relationship. He made me feel very comfortable, and you can just tell that he's so educated and he's so passionate about what he does that I trusted his judgment when I went in there having like so many different ideas of what I wanted my chest to look like. But I'm so happy and content with the results that I recommend him through and through. It's a private office and the surgery center is like in the back of the suite, so everything is done right in that office. So I've been getting some questions asking asking why I decided to get a breast augmentation, because I'm only 25 years old and I haven't even had any kids yet. And also, this is just my opinion and this is my experience. Everyone has their things, but I've always strived to be the platform that I wish I could have followed when I very first started my journey. So if you can relate to this in any way, or I can ease your mind or add any value to your life, then I will feel very happy at the end of the day, because I wish that I could have watched this exact video leading into my surgery. So my chest has been my biggest insecurity since the 5th grade, since I was literally 10 years old. I have always been in like the above percentile as a child. I hit puberty very early on. I was always a pretty big girl. With that, my lady parts decided to develop very early on. I started wearing a legit bra in 5th grade in elementary school. And the reason I started wearing a bra was because my friend's mom, she came up to me one day and she scooped me. If you don't know what a scoop is, it's when you go up to someone and you grab their boobs and you like scoop them up. She's like, "Oh honey, it's time you start wearing a bra." Her intentions were like comedic. I definitely don't think she was trying to make me feel uncomfortable in any way. We're literally family friends with these people, but clearly it's like ingrained in my memory. And by no means did I feel like violated or anything like that, but I just felt very uncomfortable because when you grow up, you learn that your boobs and like your other parts, they're your private parts. So you're not supposed to show them to anybody, or you're not supposed to talk about them to anybody. That's the way I grew up, at least. I just felt uncomfortable because that was the first time I like acknowledged that I had boobs, and it was such a young age. So it's not like I had friends that could relate to me. All my friends were completely flat chested, as a normal 10-year-old would be. From that moment on, I started wearing bras from like Justice. So like, yes, they were bras, but they weren't like Victoria's Secret bras or anything. I just remember feeling like I was naughty, like I shouldn't have been wearing that because I was so young. That just goes to show the innocence of a child. I wanted to hide them, like right out the gate. I was just super insecure about them. Now I'm in 7th grade. I'm probably about 12 years old, and this is when boys are starting to look at girls and girls are starting to look at boys. I kid you not, easily 1 to 3 times per day. One of my guy friends would come up to me at school and just scoop me, and they would go scoop. They would literally go under my boob and scoop me, either from behind or just come up to me and do it. Like, it would just happen. Also, keep in mind, in like 2010, our world was much less sensitive, and I feel like bullying was like completely normal. I also never spoke about it because I was so insecure about my chest already that the last thing I wanted was to tell anybody that someone was scooping me. It wasn't just one person, it was a lot of different people. I don't even know if I've ever told really anybody this. Now I'm telling the world this. And on top of that, these guys would name call me. I'm not even gonna bring the names to light because we'll just leave them in the past. Like, that's a crazy thought to even think about. Like, if my daughter in the future came to me and said that guys were doing that, I'd be like, that's not okay. Like, that's so wrong. But needless to say, it happened, and it's made me into the thick-skinned person that I am today. Fast forward again, now we are in my senior year of high school. I actually wore a sports bra to school underneath my uniform because that was just what I felt the most comfortable in. But I've never been the type of person to like have my chest or my boobs out on display. I've always tried to hide them. But when I was a senior in high school, I ended up getting really sick with like some stomach issues. That's a whole nother story for another time, but I ended up losing 30 pounds in 1 month, and that obviously is not healthy. Amidst that, the first thing to go were my boobs. I went from like a natural size D to like a B cup, but it wasn't like I went to these cute perky B boobs. Like, it wasn't like, oh, finally my dream, like I have smaller boobs. It was like I had B boobs living in D skin. It looked like I might as well have had a child, breastfed them, and then the aftermath of what your boobs look like, that's what I looked like in high school. And that became a whole new insecurity for me. It was basically like these two masses living on my chest. So when I would play soccer, I played soccer my entire life through college, I would have to wear a Nike sports bra, their highest impact sports bras, that was a size too small for me, essentially suffocating myself to glue my boobs to my body. Because when I would do sprints, running, high intensity interval training, jump rope, anything of like vigorous training, they were just all over the place and it was painful for me. So I had to restrict myself and wear a bra that was so compressive just so I could be the best athlete that I could be. I grew up going to the beach all the time, and I would always have to wear essentially like a sports bra styled bikini top to have as much support as I could at the beach, because if I got hit by a wave and I was wearing a strapless bikini top, gone. If I wanted to play beach volleyball or juggle a volleyball like in a circle with my friends, like I was consistently so self-conscious about my boob popping out or just the way that they moved when I was like trying to hit a volleyball. Anyways, you get the point. Like, I've just been through so much with my boobs of being so insecure about them that I just wanted them to be more intact. I decided to go with this specific size on me because I wanted to replicate what my boobs in their prime look like. That is exactly what my surgeon achieved. I'm so happy with the way that they look, and I've been through a lot. Literally since I was 10. This is just for me to be more athletic, to be more aesthetic, and to just feel more confident in my skin. And I by no means am someone that is looking for a cheat code or shortcut into achieving my goals. I work my off in the gym. If my boobs were something that I could fix on my own in the gym, I would do that. I'm like the last person to resort to any type of surgery as a method of it being a shortcut, which is also why I wanted to dive into this tracking series with my nutrition coach, because I wanted to get into the absolute best shape of my life leading up to this surgery. That way my body would be able to bounce back, recover quicker. So I'm so excited to continue this recovery process and get back in the gym so I can keep chipping away and keep working towards my physical goals, because I love aesthetics, I love the gym, and I just love a nice tight and toned body that is the product of hours and hours and days of hard work. I booked my surgery 4 months ago on August 4th, and it just goes to show that even though none of you guys knew I was getting a breast augmentation, like this was a decision for me, and I took those 4 months to decide if I wanted to share this on social media, which I decided to at the end of the day because it is part of my fitness journey. And you guys have been seeing all of my progress photos and updates of me in the bathing suit from my front, side, and back shots every single week. So obviously in a future video, you guys are just gonna see these boobs that appear. So I figured I might as well just do an in-depth why I did it rather than having to answer individual comments of you guys asking what happened to my boobs. Topic number 3, recovery. So I was given both pain meds and antibiotics, and I did not touch my pain meds. There is absolutely zero chance that I'm putting that in my body. I hate to be so vulgar with you guys, but I don't do drugs, I don't drink alcohol, and as best as I can, I try to be as holistic as I can when it comes to food that I eat, the supplements that I take, and just my overall day-to-day life. I don't judge anybody that does what they want. It is your life and you do what you want. That's just my opinion, and that's just how I decide to live my life. This is why I probably endured such agonizing pain, was because I did not touch my pain meds. I only allowed myself to take Advil when I absolutely needed it most. So when I explain the feelings I was feeling, and you guys are wondering why I didn't just take the pain meds, that is why. I just hold myself to very high standards, and I just did not want to put that in my body. I'm usually not one to take antibiotics, but there was absolutely no way that I was not going to take my antibiotics, because that's what was going to fight infection, help me not have like an internal bleed or anything like that. If you're going into breast augmentation, like kind of what to expect. Day 1, so coming fresh out of surgery, I was still pretty medicated, so I felt pretty good. I didn't feel any pain. I just felt a lot of pressure in my chest. Day 2, the pain started to get significantly worse. My doctor told me that I was probably going to reach peak pain by day 3. So that kind of sucked mentally for me to understand that it was gonna get worse before it got better. There was a lot of swelling on day 2. I had a lot less mobility. My back pain was really starting to get achy because like I feel like I was kind of hunched over. There was just so much tight pressure. I had no core strength. I couldn't suck my stomach in if I tried. I was pretty constipated by this point because of everything that was put into my body for the surgery. Day 3, I have never been in so much pain in my life. I couldn't even describe the pain that I was feeling to you. I wish I wrote it down in the moment because I don't remember. I just remember it being so agonizing. Like that's how bad it was. I feel like my mind is trying to black out what I went through. I'm not trying to be dramatic and I'm not trying to scare you, but I'm trying to warn you that it gets painful and 3 Advils ain't gonna cut it. Okay, now day 4 to 6, every day got better. By this point, I was finally able to nap on my recliner during the day. I was able to get like a 1 to 3 hour nap in, which was amazing because I just could not sleep at night. Day 6 is when I went to my first post-op appointment with my surgeon. I was also not able to shower for 6 days. I didn't feel as gross as I thought I would because I wasn't like sweating or like really moving or really doing anything like that. I was just a hermit crab upstairs in the loft in the dark for like 6 days. But I got my bandages taken off and that feeling was extremely nauseating. Nothing but gravity was pulling my boobs down. It was a bizarre feeling. I will say though, that post-op post-op gave me so much confidence because my surgeon was telling me that my scars were healed, my swelling had gone down, I was able to have like more mobility in my arms, I was able to shower for the first time. And from that moment on, yesterday, I feel like I've just done so much and it's all mental. I definitely am starting to get my mind to muscle connection back. I think the only thing I'm dealing with right now is a little bit of tightness and muscle spasms. Now my muscle is like trying to allow an implant, a foreign object, to slip behind it. So it's still a little bit confused, but ultimately I feel really, really good. All right, the next topic, my takeaways. I have nipple sensation. So something that you have to be aware of going into this surgery is there is a potential that you may lose your nipple sensation, which you will not have any sensitivity, which means if it gets cold, you don't nip, anything like that, you can't feel it at all. Another takeaway is that the glue around my incision, so like that lollipop shape, the glue happens to be like this really dark purple black color and it's very thin. For me, I literally thought it was like a scab. I didn't realize that was the glue my doctor was talking about. So when my doctor was like, yeah, you can peel the glue off, I was like under the impression I was peeling a scab off, and like that just makes me feel very uncomfortable and very nauseous, and I just did not like that. Even though I know that it's glue, some of it has come off already, and then I noticed the scar underneath is like literally completely healed. We're just have to wait for like the color to kind of even out of the scar. And I would say like the last takeaway is just, if you have all of your senses and you could go do things in life, like if you're healthy and you're not exercising every single day, walking outside or going to the gym, you're really taking your life for granted. Movement is such a blessing. Being able to be outside and take a deep breath and fill your lungs, it is such a blessing. Being able to lift your arms above your head, open up your chest, stretch out your back, engage your muscles and work out at the gym, like it is such a blessing. Don't take it for granted. So if you're just kind of, you know, living your life, not doing much, there's someone out there in a hospital bed right now that wishes that they had your life. Do not take your life for granted. And if you haven't moved today, go move. If you haven't gone and sat in the sun and taken a deep breath of fresh air and nature, go do it. Okay? The next topic, I'm going to talk about pricing. Wanted to go to a surgeon that is top tier, and although it was a pretty penny, having a stranger slice you open to insert a foreign object into your body and then stitch you back together with all of the risks that going under anesthesia has, as well as a surgery to this caliber, I'm going to pay for the best that I can find. That is just the way I look at it. I also religiously used to watch the show Botched, and I've heard some crazy stories of people that decided to go the inexpensive route. Your chest is like in the center of your body, like it is over your heart, you know what I mean? So I really wanted to go to someone that I trusted. I got a breast augmentation, a lift and implant, as well as a nipple reconstruction, and that costed me north of $18,000. I also had to do a lot because I had a lot to work with and to fix from my natural body before. So depending on what your specific body composition is, that price is definitely going to vary. I also got a silicone implant, which is more expensive than a saline implant. For example, if you are an A cup and you wanted to do a saline implant, your surgery will be significantly less expensive than mine because I already had so much to work with. I had to get a lift. I went with a silicone implant. A lot of different factors. Also, depending on how long you're under the anesthesia, I would say the anesthesia is probably like the most expensive part in this entire price breakdown. When let's say your surgery only took you 3 hours instead of 5 hours, that's 2 hours less of the anesthesiologist, which is going to be significantly cheaper than what I did. Okay, my tips for you guys. If you have a recliner at home, sleep on your recliner. You want to be sitting as upright as you can because when you lay flat, it almost kind of feels like your implants are sliding up to your throat. I can't stress it enough. Like, drink as much water as you can and eat as clean as you can during this time. It will help the recovery process so much. Also, don't freak out when you get your bandages off because your boobs are probably going to look square. They're going to look lopsided. Maybe one implant hasn't dropped yet. Maybe they both haven't dropped yet. You might be like yellow, like around your boobs. You might be super bruised. Your scars are gonna look super gnarly. Like, it is gonna get better. And every single day that I've looked at myself, they've improved like so much. They will end up settling and looking really good, just how you want them to. But you just had a gnarly surgery. Like, your body's gonna be super inflamed. Give yourself some grace. Be kind to yourself and know that in just a couple weeks, if that, like, your body's gonna bounce back. Keep moving, keep stretching. Don't overdo it. Like, if you're not granted access or permission to go back to the the gym just yet, do not go back. Really be careful with your upper body. Like, be aware, like, you're not going to be able to hit upper body for a very long time. I probably won't be able to train my upper body for the next 6 to 8 weeks. I probably will be able to train my lower body in the gym in the next 3 weeks, but I'm still not rushing anything. I probably still add a week to whenever my doctor says I can go back to the gym, because I just don't want to risk injuring myself. Now, my macro update for you guys. My coach reduced my macros from 2,000 calories to 1,650. That's because I'm not lifting in the gym anymore. So as of right now, I still have not cheated on my diet in the last 15 weeks. I reduced my calories the day of my surgery, and I've been perfect with my meal plan every single day over the last 7 days. So we decided to cut out 1 slice of my peanut butter banana toast, and then reducing my peanut butter from 24 grams to 16 grams. We also cut out both of my rice cakes. So we cut back on my carbs, but we kept my protein high. This will also help me hopefully maintain as much muscle mass as I can, even though I'm pretty sedentary for a while now. But as I continue to walk more every single day, probably at the end of next week, I'll be good to like hit like 6,000 to 10,000 steps per day, which means my coach will then increase my macros again, probably to what I was before, the 2,000, because I'm having a lot more movement in my day, and because I'm walking, I will be burning more calories. But I will continue to take my progress photos moving forward. I'll show you guys a progress photo in next week's video of how my body looks right now. I'm still pretty bloated. My bowel movements are a little bit inconsistent because of everything that happened in my body. My body is still going through a lot of physical stress, so I've had a migraine for a very long time, this entire week, like through my right eye all the way back. But in next week's video, since I'm not going to be able to work out, I want to do more focus on nutrition. So I'm going to do a full Trader Joe's food haul, as well as a full day of what recovery looks like for me. Doing as many steps as I can in the day. I'm going to be trying out new recipes, because I know you guys have seen me do like the same recipes for the last 15 weeks straight. So within my macros, I'm going to try some different foods and try to like make different concoctions with those same ingredients, but like making new recipes with them. But before you guys go, I wanted to talk about Black Friday really quickly and update you guys on these crazy sales that are happening with the activewear companies that I work with. Alphalete, their Black Friday sale is going to begin on November 22nd at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Alphalete is going to have up to 80% off their entire website, plus my discount code, which is Nikki. Young LA, they're going to have their Black Friday sale on November 26th at noon Pacific Standard Time. 30% off plus my 15% off discount code, which is Nikki. And they have a brand new collection dropping. And lastly, TLF Apparel, their sale is already live. I guess I did kind of like an early access Black Friday drop, and theirs is up to 75% off of their entire website. Also adding code Nikki on top of that as well for additional money off. If you guys shop any of these brands using my code, once you guys send me a screenshot of your confirmation using my code, you can then choose a free item of choice. And if you already own all of these hats and the bags, I will Venmo you a free coffee on me. I personally created these hats and these bags, and the word today stands for living like there's no tomorrow, and the U is a smiley face, where we strive to put a smile on a new person's face every day. So you'll be able to choose a free item, and I will ship it to you, because I just want to be able to give back to you guys. I'm gonna keep doing this until the last sale ends for these brands with Black Friday, which I believe is like mid-December. Once again, thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart for all of your love and support on this journey. I'm so excited for everything that's coming. There's been so many life changes, but all for the better, and I just could not be more grateful to be alive, and I just could not be more blessed to be healthy. My voice is gone, so I will see you guys in the next video. I love you, and I hope you have a beautiful day.